So here's part two of Megan and I's interview with William. We talk about all sorts of stuff here, uh, safety for people on the internet. We talk about characters at Disney and staying in character and the training and all sorts of other stuff. Where else did we go? Well, hold on because we've got a lot coming at you. Here's part two of our interview.
I know I'm not, my questions don't really go with each other, but I am going to ask this. I'm going back to the theme park question here. But have you, talking about certain people that have asked stupid questions or done stupid things, or you've caught them doing things they shouldn't do at certain nights that are presented by Disney or any other park? Have you ever had anyone send you a nasty email and say, hey, you're being mean or you're making, have you ever
I've had people comment on the videos that way.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And what is
They're
your
so
approach?
mean.
Right. What is your approach to diffusing that and not letting it affect the way you
Depends
make
upon the
videos?
comment.
Hmm.
And if they're actually wanting a sincere response. So sometimes they're just trolls.
Yeah.
Other times, they completely misunderstood the video.
Yeah.
There have been a
Yeah.
few that I've said, there's this thing called a sense of humor. You might want to find one.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think.
With a couple of the worst, I
Mhm.
haven't had enough to do one in a while,
Mm-mm.
but back when I had a series of the videos like that, I got enough comments. If you've ever seen the old mean tweet series,
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yep.
I actually have a couple videos on the channel that's
Mhm.
essentially what I did. Is I took these comments and I said, okay, I'm going to respond to you on camera.
Right.
And I had some good fun with it.
Right.
If you do
Right.
this, you've got to have a thick skin. You're
You
going to
do.
have
You do.
people say rude and mean things that may or may not be based on reality. You just got to roll with it. So
Now, okay, being a social media person, I don't know how to say it, but how do you fear that someone might be weird enough or dumb enough to try to find you and where you're at? Like, how do you, what is the word? Do you ever fear that someone might get obsessed with you?
I've got a weird situation because I'm a minister and because where I minister is known. My public information's out there. On the channel, I have a private PO box, so that way people don't see the home address.
Right,
So
absolutely.
if people want to send mail, and I love getting mail, if you want to send mail to Megan, send it to the PO box. I gotta put that on there. Put your name on there
in the description down below.
The PO box because we can open it up on the channel.
That'd be fun.
Right.
But the town I'm living in now, I know there's at least 3 people in town who watch my videos because I've run into them at the grocery store.
I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm in my ratty old clothes and everything, and I haven't showered yet for the day, but I had to get something at the store, and SirWillow!
Yeah.
Hey,
hi. 30 minutes at the meat counter later.
Yeah.
So yes, before we moved to where we are now, we used to live in another town, and I knew 3 of my neighbors had guns.
Oh.
And it was also in the middle of nowhere. So it was like, if you're really driving way out there to see me, and she'll tell you, it really was middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we live in different levels of middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was nowhere.
Like the stick. The stick.
Where I'm at now is more central, but so I'm trying to be a little more careful. But honestly, for the most part, my viewers are really good.
Yeah.
I have not had anybody get obsessed, and so I haven't had to deal with that. But I'm also not as big as some of them.
Well, and you know what? I don't even know if it has to do with how big you are. Just there are people out there though that you never know the mindset of certain people and how they're going to. They might see you and say, "Oh, I got to go find him. He's so cool. I gotta." I don't. It's not that I worry about you, George. It's just that. So I think, it's something I thought about. Why
now? So we do have we've got security cameras all around the house.
That's a good thing to have.
So we
Yeah.
do have stuff like that, and it is hooked up into a system that if there's an issue, it will automatically summon help.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's good. And now that Megan
in
is
fact,
going to
I've
be
got cameras outside and in. So,
right, and now
if I
that
wanted
Megan is going to be, yeah, and I know your kids are going to be around and things are going to be, or
Yep.
it won't be completely.
But it's some of it too. I can't think of one person who started a little bit like that, and it's just kind of talking them down, saying, you know, okay, let me give you a reality check.
Yeah.
And they weren't
Right.
that bad. The one thing about Disney in particular is
Mhm.
it does attract a number of special needs people
Yeah.
who are not socially aware.
Right. Right.
And that's okay. I've worked with
Mhm.
special needs and stuff, so you do get that.
Mhm.
But I try to keep it away from home.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Now that Megan is coming on to co-host, what is there going to be any difference as far as like safety and all that, or is it the same? Are you just going to
Well,
do
we're
the
not going
same
to
thing?
mention where she lives.
Well,
That's for sure.
no. That I'm
Like
yeah.
the
That
I'm comfortable with sharing the area, but not anything more.
But theme
No,
parks are
no,
public
no.
areas,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's not something where we're meeting people in private areas at all.
Well, that's a
Even when
good
I've done
yeah.
meet and greets, it's always at the resorts or in the
Yep.
shopping areas. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's part of the
But
reason why.
Yeah, I think
right,
everyone
and that's a
knows that
good
we live in the Branson area anyway.
Yeah.
I
right,
just
right.
keep her kind of vague.
I guess I look at you guys as like I've known you guys for years, and I guess I just think of you more like a friends and my neighbors next door. And I don't know if it's protective. It's just kind of I
And
don't want you know what I mean. It's just
yep.
and
And
that's
that's
what
actually it's one of the things I try to foster. I very deliberately the way I talk to the camera and interact. It's actually designed to make you feel like friends. You know, because I
yeah
actually talk to the camera as if it's a person. But
right
talking in that way actually helps diffuse
yeah
things like that. And it's something that I went through a safety classes, kind of a couple other things, and they were talking about stuff like that, and I'm kind of going, "Oh, I'm already doing that. It's just
mm-hmm,
natural."
Just do
mm-hmm.
keep doing it.
So
right
yeah,
right
it's funny because if you can watch other people and you can tell that they kind of self-project as if they're more than they, and
The
that's
customer
what
service.
that's what
Right.
attracts the people that don't know
Yeah.
what's appropriate. So,
right
I'd say
now
even just on like a smaller scale that kind of getting ready to do these episodes. Of course, I'm comfortable talking to you, but it's just like I think at first the camera started to make me think a little bit differently, but
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
just thought to just
Yeah.
treat it as a conversation and
Absolute
it's gonna go
right.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Now, here's another question. Again, these aren't in order, so if I'm sorry. That's just. But how did you get used to vlogging into a camera, George, when you're out on location at, let's say, at Union Station in Kansas and Kansas
You just
City?
do it.
But do you ever feel awkward when there's people walking around and you're talking into the camera and like,
I
oh,
feel
this
so
guy
aware
is
of people
kind
at
of
this
Yeah.
this
point.
guy is kind of what is wrong? You know,
So one of the things, and again, Megan can
I'm joking again,
vouch
by
for
the
this,
way.
but when I vlog, I get out of the way.
Mhm.
So if I'm going to do a vlog entry, I go stand on the side of the walkway,
Yeah, I noticed
or
that. Yep.
I'll do it while I'm eating, or if I'm standing in line.
Just kind
And
of pull over.
and then I angle the camera, so I try to angle it so I'm not getting people around me.
Or kids, right, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do notice you're very courteous when it comes to that kind of trying not to inadvertently get people that don't want to be a part of your.
Or if I am getting kids because it's a crowd shot, I try to make sure I'm getting the back
and there's nothing you can do about every single shot, but you try, and that's a very considerate thing about you. But
and it's just something that because I did photography at Disney, it made me very aware of surroundings, and I did it. And so I've
100%.
applied that to the vlogging. I've watched other vloggers and kind of went, okay, I like that. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I
So
also I do a lot of reading on Reddit and stuff, and I joked earlier about watch out for the influencers, but there's a lot of complaints about them. And so I look at what people say and go, okay, I'm making sure I'm not doing that.
Noted. You
Yes.
did that
Right.
video, was it last year or the year before, about like kind of poking fun at vloggers, but like that was funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, and I got 2 nasty emails from that too, from people that I felt
Please.
called out.
Please, if the shoe
Well, hey, you only got 2, so that's good.
Well, too, and then my other one too. In fact, it might have been that one where I talked about why I don't film on rides, or at least
Right.
thrill rides and stuff. I do dark rides, but why I won't film on roller coasters and stuff. And I had a very well-known one contact me, and he says, he told me, well, I do mine with strapped on GoPros and do this and that, so I feel like it's okay. And I'm like, if you didn't approve it through the park, it's not okay.
No, it's not. Right. They have very strict rules about what because of things flying off and hitting people, and and but
so yeah, I try to be very aware of that, and I try to get out of the way so people either don't notice me or they realize that I'm not getting them.
Right. Now, have you ever been denied filming a vlog at a place by anywhere you've been, or has that not happened?
I have. Okay, so when I go someplace, especially if it's new and it's not a big park like Silver Dollar City, I don't do this. In Disney, I don't. But a lot of parks, I actually have a form email that I send out to them, and I say, hey, I'm planning on coming out and visiting your park or your attraction on this date. I like to know what your guidelines are. I see you've got them online. I don't film on rides, but I want to know if you have any other suggestions, anything you'd like me to do or be aware of, and just kind of let them know. And I have actually had one place, I won't name it, that wrote back and said, we don't allow video filming on our facilities. I'm like, okay,
there's that.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I guess I don't need to visit your facilities either. I did not send them that back, but I was like, and it was this weird deal. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you free advertising, but,
Right.
but it was a very stiff response.
Right. It wasn't right. It was very hard.
Vibes didn't
Yeah.
match.
Yep. So I was like, okay,
Right.
I don't need to go there.
Now, absolutely. Now, back to being Megan is as a co-host. Do you have any plans on doing any? And we did discuss this a few times in some of the Zoom calls. Have you discussed doing any collabs with any of the people we've mentioned? I won't say who, but do you plan on that being the case in the future with Megan, or is that something that we're not thinking
that far yet?
No, I don't think we've gotten that far yet. If something were to work out,
there will be some. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And again, we don't need to name because we don't know, but we have discussed that in past Zoom calls. So I just wasn't sure if that was something you guys were looking into. So
I'm sure if they can participate, that would be fun.
Well, she's got some contacts too that I don't.
Well, that's right. And that's another positive as far as her being on. So, but yeah, let me know when we need to wrap up. I don't want to hold you guys up all day. So I just give me the wrap up sign when we're ready to,
I don't even have an idea of time right now.
Like,
is but an enigma.
Well, no, I'm looking out for your time too. I don't want to hold.
Sure, put the bow on it.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying I want to get off. I'm just saying if you guys, I'm just.
You're good.
You're the drivers. I'm not. I'm just.
But you have the questions.
I'm just William. I have no.
Who are they?
No, if I'm the driver, I got nothing from.
I'm not wearing.
Well, I want to be conscious of your time and her time as well. So,
poor William, we're gonna just sit here and go on with this, and he's like,
no, I want to be considerate of you guys as well. So, but no, just to say, and I know you're.
When we're sitting around, especially with like my kids around, this is normal. We just go off on some stupid deal.
Right.
We'll take it from here to way the heck over there.
Right. And I just no, you guys are fine. I just want to make sure that I'm not prolonging something I shouldn't. So that's all I'm saying.
How are you doing? Are you doing good?
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm really having a good time. This is really a good time for me. I'm really enjoying it.
I just checked the time. We got probably about 20, 30 more minutes before I got to go. Okay. I got a turkey in the oven.
Awesome. Okay. No, I've had a great time. This has been great. I've looked forward to it the whole ever since you messaged me about it and were able to tell me, hey, and I said I was 100%, yeah. The fact that I'm even welcomed in the group is great. As far as the Zoom, so that's fun for me.
I don't want anybody to ever feel unwelcome.
For sure.
No,
And
I,
it's not
I
just because you support us on Patreon.
mhm,
No, we have fun when you're there.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really liked, I think you can agree too. I like how you take the time to thoroughly get to know everybody. So I think that's probably what stuck out when George asked you to do this. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I
Yay.
appreciate that, and I appreciate it from you as well, Megan. And I think, again, I've never been asked to do a YouTube video, so for me, it's exciting, but at the same time, you still have that nervousness of, oh gosh, this is not my channel. I can't mess up. I have to. It has to be perfect,
You
and
can't
it's.
mess up.
I understand completely.
I know,
You think you're
right?
messing up, but trust me, you're not messing up. You can't mess up
Okay.
on so.
Well, and I just enjoyed the format. I enjoy that it's not a cemented type, you know, video. It's just, we talk about whatever is on our minds as far as theme parks and everything like that. So it's just, I don't know. It's a very,
Okay, you went
it,
off script a long time ago.
well,
The script, it's blank.
if we're speaking of script, we haven't had one. But no, I just enjoy asking the questions because I don't know a lot about everything. Like, utilidors and what a cast member has to do to become a cast member of certain parks, what the training's like. In fact, I'll ask this real quick. What is the training like this is for both you, Megan and George. What is the training like to become a cast member of Six Flags or of Disney or
Depends
of
upon the job and the company. It's
who?
different. Um, all the parks and companies have an orientation of some sort, which is typically a day. Traditions at Disney. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but Busch Gardens had it, Silver Dollar City had it, Six Flags, I'm sure it was a 1 day welcome to the company.
Yeah, I remember my day I interviewed was, I don't remember details at this point. It's kind of been 8 years ago, but it's been the day that I interviewed and completed all the adulty paperwork stuff kind of took a lot longer than I expected. But then once I was hired, I did have a day where I came back and they had like a classroom portion, and then we were kind of given our areas that day, and we would go out to see specifics and stuff like that. And that was really helpful. I don't know if this is just a given. That's like my only experience in the food industry, but we went with people we'd be working with. That was nice. I didn't know one way or the other how it was going to go, but that was just really nice. I like to know.
But then from there, it depends upon the job you're doing and where you're doing it. And so Rhino Rally was 2 days training and attractions before stepping into the ride area itself. And then each part of it was a different part of training. Photography, it was a week of here's how to use a camera, what we're looking for and practicing before we ever interacted with guests. On the train, we had 2 days. We had the orientation, and then we had, I think it was 2 days, really, before we were out there, and that's because it was before season started.
Yeah.
So it was cleaning the station, practicing, getting ready, going over basic safety stuff, and hey, look, opening day, you're on.
Yeah. So how now, as far as the face characters and the fur characters, how long is the friends of those characters training? Is it more intense? Is it different? Do they audition?
I heard stories, so I can't comment directly. But they've got several different stages of tryouts that they have to go through, and most do not make it on their first tryout, and oftentimes not the second. I had one friend that tried out 6 times before she finally got picked out.
The determination.
Yes. And then there is a whole process they have of learning to be the character, learning their mannerisms, how to, they call it animate, them. but also learning the characters' stories, because they have to know, face or fur, they've got to know that character inside and out as
Yeah.
if they were them, because
Right.
somebody will ask them a question
And they've
off
got to
the
know it. Right.
wall, way deep,
Yeah.
and they've got to know it.
Especially if you're
Right.
a face character, I can imagine you just gotta improv after improv after improv.
Well, like Mickey, we get asked, hey, can you do the hot dog dance? Mickey's got to know how to do the hot dog dance.
Well,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Max and
Yeah.
Goofy.
Well,
I know the
who
power
would-
line dance.
right. And that's why I was curious, because it's got to be a lot more strenuous, because you're having to do, you have to, what's the, I'm losing my,
it's a pretty in-depth process they go through.
and they are not,
they don't step out into the parks until they have finished it and know it.
Yeah, they don't go on stage until things are done. Right. And now, I've known this, I think this is true, that you cannot, no character is to go off script. They have certain signals that they can make to the attendant with them, so that they can let them know, but they are to not break any character while out on stage. Is that correct?
Yeah. So if it's a fur character, no talking.
Right.
I would fail epically in that role.
But so a good example of fur character not being allowed to talk and it being very difficult. So I was working Grand Expo, what we called the View, where we showed the pictures, and the characters had a break room in the back. And as photographers, if we were on break, sometimes we'd go take a break with them. So Chip and Dale were coming out from break, getting ready to head out, and we had one of our ladies that had been on break with them. So she came out, and as Chip and Dale are going by, they're saying hi to her. Well, she is 7-8 months pregnant. She's very obviously with child. And so they're walking by and they're patting her tummy. And she looks at him and says, well, this is your fault.
Okay.
No.
She's just come back from lunch with them. She's just eaten. She's thinking full stomach.
Sure. Oh,
but they're patting her. They're like, whoa, wait, what? This is our fault? And she goes, yes, you gave me your nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Awkward.
Yeah, that's not good. At this point,
okay, I'm over at the counter. I'm dying. It's in the morning. Thankfully, there's not guests around.
Golly.
I'm just keeling over. Chip and Dale can't make noise.
Right. They have to,
because they'll get in trouble. So what they're doing, one is on the ground, rolling, holding their sides. The other one is literally slapping the counter as hard as they can
to keep from making
noise.
Right.
And meanwhile, she's going, what?
She's not even picking up on. Yeah, she's not picking up on.
I finally had to grab her and say,
yeah.
But she just, it was beet red. I'm hide.
And she didn't mean it. Obviously, it wasn't meant that way. She didn't mean it. Right. She was just, she was trying to keep.
But yes, they had to. Chip and Dale had to figure out some way to express this without.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, adding on to that question, I'm sorry, Megan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all. I just fail.
Oh no, I don't think you would, Megan. I think you do a pretty good job at being a face character or a fur character. But now, the other, there's a YouTuber by the name of Brian Hull who does voice impression. Very good.
Brian had a Patreon. I was one of his.
Very good voice.
Got to meet him at Disneyland. Yes.
Yeah, he was in Hotel Transylvania. He was the voice of the of Dracula.
Yep, Brian's an amazing guy.
He is, and if you guys don't know who he is, check him out, Brian Hull. But when he's done impressions of certain characters, let me ask you this, George or Megan: when those characters see him and they get excited, are they acting excited or are they legitimately excited?
I feel like I'd be genuinely excited.
No, when you see the characters acting excited, whether
like
it's
Minnie
over
and
Brian
Donald
imitating them, or over being given a gift, or seeing something that somebody's wearing, that's genuine. That is
that's
absolutely
the person
real.
So
they're
that
not
is
putting on a show.
That's Donald and Daisy's friend actually being seriously happy that, because I've seen, I don't know if that was part of the character doing that or if that was them.
For them. Okay, so if I see somebody walk up to me at a park and they're wearing a SirWillow shirt, okay, that person is awesome and amazing. My goodness, they're wearing my stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for the characters. If
Okay.
Mickey sees somebody coming up and they're wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, dude, they're wearing my stuff.
Right.
The ears.
Yeah, the ears. In fact, one of the ways I used to pick on Donald was I'd like to point out Mickey's stuff to Donald.
Because he hates that. Yeah.
Oh.
So, but no, they those are absolutely genuine reactions.
Because like I've seen Donald and Daisy actually fall over and they're just like they're hugging and they're jumping all over Brian. And I didn't know if that was, like I said, I didn't know if that was part of the whole experience or if that was legitimately them saying, wow,
that's legit. That is absolutely legit.
Like the dragon, I always forget the dragon's name.
What was it?
Not the one that George did a video where people think it's a geisha girl.
Oh, Mulan?
Yeah, the dragon.
Oh, Mushu.
Mushu. He did the voice of Mushu, and Mushu got down, and you could tell the friend of Mushu was laughing very hard. Yeah. Was that legit, or was that part of the?
No, that's legit. That is. There's a lot more legit about what you see than people realize. They are that character when they get in the outfit. They take on the persona of that character.
Right.
But what you're seeing is genuine reactions. They're not fake.
Okay. I just because I've also seen Peter Pan and Cinderella and Snow White. They've all been very. Again, they can't go out of character, but you can tell that with a face character, it's easier.
A whole lot harder to fake a reaction like that, and it comes across as fake. So you can tell,
right? But again, I wanted to know that, and I think you've known enough about it to know, hey, is that real or is that part of?
Yep. You want to make some characters' day, wear their stuff, bring them a gift,
do their voice.
Yeah, do their voice. When we go, a lot of times we take along those little boxes of candies. Yeah, and come up to character. Hey, here, this is for you as a thank you, dude. You make their day when you do that, and they will fawn all over you.
Right.
And flight attendants.
Yes, flight attendants.
Oh yeah. Now that brings up another question for you guys. Are characters allowed? I've heard of people trying to do this. I don't know if it's a true thing or not. I've heard a few of other YouTubers that are in Disney quite a bit. Are they allowed to tip characters, or is that a no-no?
Not cash, no money.
Okay.
Any cast member outside of like wait staff at tables or doorman, you cannot tip them cash. So characters, not at all. For somebody like me that was a photographer, if somebody tried to give me a cash tip, you were required to say no 3 times because otherwise you could offend them. And there were still some that would try to force it. You were supposed to turn it in. Supposed to. I had a couple times I got tips and, he told them no 3 times because you're not there for tips. Yeah. But I went into my manager and kind of, hey, I got this. Put that away. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will do.
Yeah.
But you can give them gifts though. So like I said, candy, snacks, pins are fine. It's generally a $25 approximately limit on the value of the gift you can give them. But plushes,
the little like shoulder guys.
Yes,
little shoulder guys, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can take gifts. Absolutely.
Anything non-monetary can be given. Right. And I know we're going to wrap up here soon, ladies and gentlemen, but another last question I have is, what are some of the hand signals that you've had to use or that Disney uses at the parks, or certain code words so that the guests do not know what you're saying, but you can say it in front? Just give us a few examples.
I don't know if I should.
Okay, well, that's up to you.
But there is one that is well known. It's out in the public, so it's not a big deal. You know what it is?
Maybe.
Okay,
I don't remember.
What is it?
Oh, just say it.
No, I want to see if you know. Can you show it?
No. I don't actually think I do. Oh, I do remember that.
Does that mean I'm
hand
sick?
over the eye, and basically that just simply means I need help.
Oh.
And at that point, you walk up, get the guests away, and that's one of the few times they'll talk, and they will whisper to you.
Did Stitch do that in February? Is that what I saw?
Yes. So yes.
Yeah.
That's. I'm trying to remember what was going on.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Okay. But yeah, we walked by and we saw Stitch put the hand up, and that's
Right.
what they were saying is, I need help.
I remember
Right.
seeing him do it, but I could not remember what it was. But I knew something was.
Yeah. And it could be
wrong.
wardrobe malfunction. It could be they're sick.
Mhm.
It could be they got hurt or they saw a guest do something. Whatever it is, it's, hey, come here. I need to talk to you.
So it's just it's just a general sign of, hey, something's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Now there are some others,
you're right,
but they're not as widely known. So I kind of
you don't want to re-exact. Right.
Yeah.
Now isn't there another thing where you guys will do the not the one finger point, but you'll point like this, because in some cultures it's considered a
2 fingers or the whole hand.
Right.
Yeah, Six
And-
Flags really drove home whole hand at the time.
Right,
And now I actually
right.
do it at work every day too.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
taught us
actually-
that where I work. Don't point,
Once
just
it's
kind of
drilled into you, you never stop.
Yeah. And I do the whole hand. Like if someone asks me where something is where I work, I kind of just use my whole hand. So I
Yeah.
just didn't know if that was all theme parks or just Disney.
Disney's the one that really pushed it to begin with, but it's really kind of spread out.
Customer
Yeah.
service.
Because in some cultures it's considered very rude. It's a rude gesture to point and
really not.
Yeah. But now I've heard a few cast members who have channels as well say that they will, if a customer's or a guest is being rude to them, they will say, one of their things to say is, you have a great day you have a fun day.
You have
in the
a
park.
magical day.
Have a
That's
Six
it.
Flags day.
Hey, it's one of our special guests.
And it's a way to say things without being rude or disrespectful.
There are people that will tell you it's have a Disney day. That's grown because the internet. It was not have a Disney day. It was have a magical day when I was there.
I've not heard have a Disney day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't always mean buzz off. There were people who genuinely, especially they're saying it to kids,
Yeah.
hey, I hope you have a magical day. So it was the tone. But if somebody, especially on a phone call, hey, we have one of our special guests here for you.
Great.
Okay, you've got them mad. You got the special label.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, have a magical day was.
So it's a way to say something without being rude or get fired or any of that. Yeah. It's
have a magical day. You can kiss my kabukis.
Yeah, but you can't say that. You have
you
to
can't say the other part, but that's what you're saying.
I never actually heard anyone say have a Six Flags day when I worked there, but that's what was heavily implied.
Yep.
Well, where I work, we say, is there anything else we can help you find? And that's what we say if people don't like the way we've, and it's similar, but and they just kind of look at you like you're being nice, and that's what we have to do.
No, I'm really not.
No, well, without being descriptive, there's some people, but the majority of people I've been around are very nice, and I'm sure it's the same around anywhere. But
so I wondered then if I could turn around and say, I hope you have a SirWillow day.
That would be, hey.
We might have to grow that a little bit.
Yeah,
but SirWillow day.
And then I bet most people would be like, what?
Yeah, but no, this has been really fun, and
can I ask you a question before we go?
You can ask me whatever.
Do you remember the first video of George's that you watched?
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was one of the videos, and it was from, I want to say it was 2018. It was where he was doing impressions of the certain types of people that come in the park and ask stupid questions of, where's the 3:00 parade, or how come how come it's raining? How come you have not turned the rain off? Or where's Cinderella's castle? That I saw one of those.
I'm waiting to see if it's the one I think it is.
It's the one where he's dressed up as a like he's got the hat, he's got the camera around, he's got the Hawaiian shirt.
Is it the one where I did the old woman?
Yes. That's the one that got me. And I just loved how you, and this was back, I think, when you were doing it at your church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You had the background with all your stuff, and it was a little bit different setup. And you would wear SirWillow shirts like this a lot more than you do now. You wear more
That one is.
a variety. Is that SirWillow?
It's a Hawaiian
I
Yep.
can't see. Okay.
Exclusive.
Well,
Craig ordered this one for me.
Well, I am so sorry. I didn't see that.
It's
But
like subtle, but not.
that was the first video I ever saw, and then I just kept watching them and all the vlogs of him going to Six Flags and Cedar Point and Busch Gardens, and then his kids, and talking about how him and his kids used to go, and they would have the pictures where I think Tinkerbell would be in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started, and I just could tell that George was a very family oriented, very level headed person, and he was funny too. So, and it was wholesome. It wasn't dirty. There wasn't any. There's no it was nothing. It was just complete family. It
Fun.
just
yes,
just fun.
And he seemed to be very welcoming to everybody, and having friends come along, and you, and just Joseph and Amber and Margaret, and it was just
tried to scare her off. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work, obviously. But yeah, and that's that's the long answer. But yes, that was the first one, and I intend to watch as many videos as I can. But yeah, again, this has been a really great time, and I know we're wrapping up here. But I appreciate, and I appreciate you guys having me on and doing this, and
well, thank you. And like I said, it has been a great ride. I love that we're actually on Spotify now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of new, and
my voice is on Spotify.
I know.
Let's listen to Taylor Swift. My voice is on it.
So
it's
been fun, and we've had a lot of fun with you too. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm William on Patreon. I'm Donald Chump, like he said, like Megan and George said. And it's just been fun.
Great. So thank you so much for watching or listening, whatever the case may be. So you can catch us on Spotify and on YouTube, and who knows, we may do other stuff later. But would love to hear your feedback too. Please don't hesitate to leave comments, send notes to SirWillow@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear back from you. Thank you so much, William, for the questions, and Megan for being part of it. And thank you all for watching and listening.
You got it. Yeah.
God bless. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.